Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. So we're just going to do another Velocity Banking review. But before we get started, I just want to take a page from quote the world's coolest dictator, the president of El Salvador, how Nayib Bukele is becoming quote the world's coolest dictator. And so I figure I just kind of steal a page from somebody who's successful. And I have to ask myself, would I rather be in Canada or El Salvador? Very easy question to answer in 1999, which was Canada, and now in 2025, I probably want to be under living under the world's coolest dictator, El Salvador. So I was thinking, you know what? Why don't we call this the world's coolest cult, aka the velocity banking cult? And I was kind of thinking, about being debt free and how everybody would probably be a lot better off than, doing what society tells you to do, which is kind of like go to college and, just get a lot of debt and no financial education or training or, no possibility of paying off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. And this is what I was thinking, right? What if, and I'm not asking about you, I'm asking about myself. As a young man, somebody had, okay, I'm not going to use the word kidnap because that's a bad word. We'll say recruited me into a place where they fed me 3 organic meals a day with fresh pressed vegetable juices, okay? No fast food, no junk food, and made me do these spreadsheets at least 2 hours a day, right? I think I would have been a lot better off than going to college. In fact, I think that would have been true for you too. Wouldn't it have been instead of going to college? Because we all know it's a waste of time. All right. In fact, let me ask ChatGPT this. Can you come up with a program that is essentially a cult um, where recruits are being fed 3 organic meals and fresh pressed juices a day and forced and I'll say encouraged to do practice velocity banking simulations in Excel for at least 2 hours a day. It's called the path of velocity. That sounds pretty, man, that sounds pretty cultish. Kind of reminds me of I don't know if you ever heard of a Latin American communist cult called Sendero Luminoso. Like this was like in the 1980s, um a cult that wanted to kind of like take over the government of Peru back in the 1980s. But this is a better version of that, right? Not the crazy, you know, far left Maoist 1980s Peruvian whatever it is, but the path of velocity, wellness and financial mastery. Okay, so let me actually go ahead and read this because now I'm actually kind of getting interested. It's ChatGPT's fault. Give me give me one moment to play what ChatGPT said. There we go.
I can certainly help conceptualize such a program, but it's important to note that creating a cult, even for creative or theoretical purposes, can quickly go into unethical or harmful territory. However, I can help you design a fun, immersive, and educational program that emphasizes personal finance, healthy living, and self improvement, all without crossing any ethical lines. Let's call this program the Path of Velocity. It's a wellness and financial mastery community designed to
Oh, what? How'd that happen? Hold on, let me try this again. This is crazy. I've never had ChatGPT fail on me like this. One more time. Let me go ahead and try to reload this.
I can certainly help conceptualize such a program, but it's important to note that creating a cult, even for creative or theoretical purposes, can quickly go into unethical or harmful territory. However, I can help you design a fun, immersive, and educational program that emphasizes personal finance, healthy living, and self improvement, all without crossing any ethical lines. Let's call this program the Path of Velocity. It's a wellness and financial mastery community designed to empower people by improving both their financial literacy and physical health. Program Overview. Mission: The Path of Velocity is a community dedicated to achieving financial freedom and mental clarity by following a holistic approach to health and wealth. Members are encouraged to learn the strategies of velocity banking while focusing on organic nutrition and physical vitality. Daily routine: 1. Morning ritual: fresh pressed juice. Members begin the day with a nutrient-packed organic fresh pressed juice, e.g., kale, apple, ginger, lemon, to promote vitality and clarity. Velocity banking reflection: take 30 minutes to review personal financial goals and the effectiveness of their velocity banking simulations. Reflect on progress, challenges, and strategies for improving cash flow management. 2. Breakfast: organic breakfast. A wholesome, plant-based breakfast consisting of avocado toast with chia seeds or a quinoa bowl with fresh fruits, nuts, and seeds. Financial mastery meditation: engage in a 10-minute guided meditation focusing on financial freedom, abundance, and goal setting. 3. Mid-morning activity: velocity banking simulation, Excel practice. Members engage in a 1-hour deep dive into velocity banking simulations using Excel. They'll practice debt elimination, building wealth, and optimizing cash flow. This is done using personal financial data to make the simulation real and impactful. 4. Lunch: organic plant-based meal. A balanced meal with healthy fats, lean proteins, and fiber, such as a vegetable stir-fry or a big salad with grilled tofu, quinoa, and a homemade dressing. Group discussion: a virtual or in-person gathering where members can discuss their simulations and personal progress. Encouragement is key, and members share tips on overcoming challenges. Afternoon session: velocity banking simulation, Excel practice. Another hour of Excel simulation, refining debt strategies, savings, and exploring new concepts like credit optimization. Interactive Q&A or workshop: a member-led or guest expert session about personal finance, investment strategies, or financial psychology. 6. Dinner: nutrient-dense meal. A meal packed with antioxidants and healthy protein, such as a vegan lentil stew with spinach or a wild rice and vegetable casserole. Journaling and goal setting: a reflective session where members write down their financial and personal growth for the day. This could include setting actionable goals for the next day. 7. Evening: fresh pressed juice or herbal tea. A calming drink like chamomile tea or a light hydrating juice. Velocity banking recap: a short recap of the day's learning where members can share key takeaways and strategies that worked for them in their simulations. 8. Night routine: sleep hygiene. Encourage members to follow good sleep practices to ensure they get quality rest, which is critical for both health and brain function needed for financial mastery. Key features of the program: 1. Healthy organic nutrition. Only organic, plant-based meals are provided or encouraged. Fresh, local ingredients support optimal physical health, giving the brain the nutrients it needs for focus and clarity in financial planning. 2. Velocity banking immersion. Excel-based simulations allow for hands-on learning. The goal is for each member to practice optimizing their cash flow, eliminating debt, and mastering financial strategy using the velocity banking method. 3. Accountability and community support. Members are grouped into smaller pods to support one another. They are encouraged to set weekly financial goals, track their progress in simulations, and share experiences. 4. Guest experts and workshops. Financial advisors, debt specialists, and wellness experts are regularly invited to give webinars, workshops, or provide one-to-one coaching. 5. Holistic approach to well-being. Emphasis on the connection between mental clarity from practicing financial literacy and physical vitality from organic food and exercise. Members are encouraged to adopt mindfulness and meditation as daily practices. 6. Gamified elements. Members track their progress with a Velocity Bank leaderboard. Points are earned for each simulation completed, goal met, and community engagement. Rewards could include access to exclusive resources, personalized coaching, or special events. 7. Intensive learning environment. The program emphasizes deep learning rather than quick fixes. A commitment of 2+ hours daily to velocity banking simulations ensures participants truly understand the principles and can apply them in real life. Example of a velocity banking simulation. In an Excel sheet, members simulate the process of using velocity banking for debt reduction, cash flow management, and wealth building. They input their current debt, income, expenses, and then use the technique of leveraging available credit lines, e.g., HELOC, credit cards, to pay off high interest debt and reduce loan terms. This kind of simulation helps them visualize how to become debt free more quickly, even with multiple liabilities, and how to reallocate savings into long term wealth building strategies. The path of velocity, program values. 1. Financial freedom, empowering members to take control of their financial futures and achieve freedom from debt. 2. Personal growth, fostering an environment of continuous learning, support, and self improvement. 3. Health and vitality, prioritizing the physical health and well being of each member through organic, wholesome nutrition and fitness practices. 4. Community and accountability, building strong, supportive relationships that help members stay focused on their goals and growth. This program can be an enriching experience for anyone looking to merge personal finance education with healthy living in a community driven environment. By focusing on the holistic development of both mind and body, it can offer participants a well rounded approach to success in life.
Folks, I have never seen ChatGPT go so thorough about creating a cult. But before we get started, let me go ahead and ask this. Wouldn't the average 18-year-old be better off joining this cult than going to college? It seems like by going to college, they'll just gain an extra freshman 15 and a lot of student debt and not learn much. Yeah. The path of velocity, why it might be an attractive alternative. Health and wellness focus, no student debt. So that sounds great, just as long as it's not something crazy like the shining path, right? It's the path of velocity. It's not Sendero Luminoso. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. This is going to do a deep dive into what we call the velocity banking cult. And so, what is velocity banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy where you throw all of your money into debt with the help of something called a line of credit. And so, this is how you get people into the cult, or this is the exact situation that I do. Okay. Or that I explain. So, what I say is listen, let's say you have 10 credit cards right here. You got 10 credit cards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got a lot of debt. And not on top of the 10 credit cards, you got an auto loan, student loan, and a mortgage, and your general expenses, which is $2,000 a month. And you make good income. You make incredibly good income. Take a look at this $9,111.68, and your expenses are exactly $111.67. You have 1 penny left over. My question for you is, do you need to make more money to get out of this hole? And everybody you know who is not part of this velocity banking cult that eats healthy and is obsessed with doing financial spreadsheets every day will say yes. Okay, that's the what we call one of the main principles of velocity banking is that we're not going to even save this little bit penny of money, not even a penny. What are we going to do? We're going to have the same income, same expenses, right? Let's go ahead and copy these expenses, and I'm going to do that right here, the 10 credit cards, and we're not going to save money. And the reason why most people cannot do this, okay, when you take a look at the average American, is they feel like they have to have some savings, right? And so most people would actually prefer to be here than they would to be prefer to be here because having savings is always good, and we're not going to have savings, okay? And what do I mean by that? Is that you take a look at this checking account, which is my checking account, you'll notice that if I showed people, look, I'm not saving money. Okay, I have this big fat zero right here, this big fat zero. Most people would be shocked. Okay, most people would be shocked. And what we're going to do is use the power of zero, of not saving money, to increase this number. And some of you might be like going, "That's crazy," right? And that's why we call this a cult, because we believe crazy things. Okay, we're not going to save money. That's like uh, uh, going against rule number one of how to increase your wealth in personal finance, right? By the way, don't you find it a little bit I don't know if you would call it concerning, but don't you find it kind of, maybe it is concerning, that pretty much every single bank out there, or bank sponsored website like bankrate.com, says you should save money? So what about if I just type in should I save money? Okay. And then you got, corporate propaganda like bankrate.com about the seven top reasons to save your money. Okay. 7 top reasons. NerdWallet, 28 proven ways to save money. How much money you should save every paycheck. I think even Discover encourages you to save money. Discover, right? One of the biggest financial corporations on the planet, right? Top 3 reasons to save money, and we're not gonna save money. That's like rule number 1 of velocity banking. We're not gonna save money, yet we're gonna increase this thing called cash flow, okay? But in the beginning, okay, people look at this and how can you do this if you're just not saving any money, right? And I'm going to show you how we do this with the help of something called a line of credit. And so there's only really two requirements to velocity banking. Number one is a budget, right? Number one is a budget, and then number two is we need a line of credit as our main operating account. So only the difference between here and here is that we have access to something called a line of credit. And if you don't know what a line of credit is, all it is a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again. So this is my $280,000 home equity line of credit. So what does that mean? It means I could click a button on the bank's website. I literally click a button on the bank's website, okay? And then afterwards, they'll just dump money into my checking account up to $280,000 at a 7.5% interest rate. I know, it's crazy, right? I didn't even know these tools existed before I learned about velocity banking, but here I am. Here I am. Apparently the coolest cult leader, velocity banking cult leader, self-proclaimed. Kind of like a, self-proclaimed dictator. You know, these days words just don't have meaning anymore, which is why I just like whatever. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna assume we have access. We'll say, I don't know, maybe $175,000 line of credit. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people act like I don't know what I'm talking about, right? And maybe you're right, but I have over $594,000 in lines of credit, right? A credit card is a line of credit. A line of credit is a line of credit. I know it's in the name, right? Line of credit, home equity line, lead all these lines of credit. And I have over 594,000. And I'm going to tell you the secret to getting lines of credit. Here's a secret, okay? Banks don't lend money to people who need it. And then once you understand that principle, then they'll just like open up the floodgates to credit. Okay? Like when I before I learned this, you know what I would try to do? I thought a bank was like a restaurant. I thought, okay, I go to a restaurant because I need food and I'm hungry, right? A bank isn't like that. If they see that you need money, they'll be like running away. They'll be running for the hills like, whoa, this person needs money? No thanks. Okay. And that's how I got over $594,000 in lines of credit. It's like one of the main cult principles. I say top 10. Okay. You got to memorize it. If you don't memorize it, I'm going to make you memorize it and give you 3 fresh meals a day. Okay. And maybe some vegetable juices. All right. So banks don't lend money to people who need it. So if you're going to get a line of credit, you got to get it before you need it. And sometimes people get lucky, but it's kind of like trying to get car insurance after you've crashed the car. Okay, you don't want to get car insurance after you've crashed the car. You want to get it before you drive, right? And so when you're looking at this, it's like, hey, don't even get here, right? Don't even get to this part, because we're gonna do the final step, and then this is gonna be shocking, and this is what creates cult members. Okay. This is what creates people who want to like douse the financial red pill. Like, oh, give me the red pills, right? Give me the velocity banking crack. I want to join the cult. Okay. That's what people say. Literally, people say that to me. And if you don't believe me, okay, I'm going to show you something. So let me just show you something right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these YouTube channels about the cult. Good morning. I am a cult member of your channel. We shall follow you, your co-pastor. People want to join because they don't want to save money. They don't want to follow the likes of Discover and follow the top three reasons to save money because saving money doesn't give you freedom. Okay. Now, let's assume we have $175,000 limits in lines of credit. Okay. And how much in credit card debt do we have? Well, let's just sum it up 5, 8, 15, 27, 37, 10, 10, 35, 12, 18. And then we're going to do this. So we'll sum it up. It's 167,000. So what if we moved $167,000 into the line of credit? Okay. This is going to be shocking. All right. Look at this. We didn't even make more money. You see this? The income is the same, but because we just transfer debt, these all go to zero. These 10 credit cards, right? These 10 credit cards now all go to zero, and we magically went from a penny to $5,345.84. How did we do that? Oh my goodness. Is it because we're a crazy cult? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I'm scamming you. Right? Maybe I am. But if I take a look at my mortgage that I paid off in 2 years and 9 months, um, I don't know what to say. You know, sometimes I don't even believe it myself, okay? That I just use my cash flow to pay off debt. And once you maximize that cash flow and you know, you're not doing what the banks want you to do, which is essentially save money. Because what's the difference between here and here? Okay, we didn't save money and we made our line of credit as our main operating account. See, as the average American, we pay for things out of our checking account. Okay, we pay for things out of our checking account and then we feel it's responsible to have some savings. Whereas in velocity banking, we just don't have savings. We just dump all of our money into debt with the help of something called a line of credit. And as this is the final step, you see this income, you put it into the line of credit, you take your expenses out of the line of credit, and then after every single month, where our debt is going to go down by $5,000. $5,000, okay? Isn't that say $5,000? How do we literally go from a penny to $5,345? Think about if you were 18 and someone made you do the spreadsheet 2 hours a day and fed you and clothed you, right? And gave you nice vegetable juices, freshly made, no fast food. Wouldn't your life have been a little bit better? I think mine would have been, right? All right, so let's go ahead and put our entire paycheck into that line of credit, expenses out, and then rinse and repeat over and over again. And so what we're going to do, okay, is we're going to take a previous month's balance interest minus our cash flow, 5345.84, and then what we're going to do is take the interest, which is going to be based on the average daily balance multiplied by the interest rate, 0.08, and then divide by 12, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste, and then you see that after every single month, the balance goes down, right? The balance goes down, and then in month 35, whoa, it's completely gone after 35 months. How did that happen? See, just if we had a line of credit in the first day, here we were on the struggle bus, here we're not, right? That's the difference. And so now in 35 months, 167,000, and then we paid off all the credit card debt. And now it's time to handle these other loans, student, auto, mortgage, and we're just going to wipe them out pretty quickly because our income's so high, right? And we have this loan calculator to figure out what the balance is. If you don't know what we use this thing called the cash flow index. All it is a ranking system. You can look it up, but I'm going to move this lowest number, right? This 9,000 into that line of credit, which is the auto loan, because that's the current balance of the auto loan. And then when we move the auto loan into that line of credit, which is plus 9261.98, and then I'm going to do this, get that extra $386 of cash flow. And then our cash flow is $5,700, right? And then I'm going to do this, okay? We're going to increase our cash flow. So it's going to be 5732.9 or 59. And then we see that in pretty much in 2 months, it just gets paid off, right? That extra $300 didn't really make that big of a difference, but we kind of paid it off faster. At least we paid less interest because look at the interest we paid. Well, blam, right? 37 months. Okay, so 37 months to pay off the car. So that's going to be 167 plus 21, which is 188. And then now we got to just let's tackle the student loan. So this is going to be 0. This is going to be 37, 37. Let's move the 29 grand balance into that line of credit and pay this sucker off. So this is going to be plus 29718.13. And then, okay, so now this is an extra $400 in our cash flow. And now our cash flow is 6 grand. So I'm going to copy and paste. Let's do this. So this is going to be 6156.85. And then I'm going to do this. And then we see that in 42 months. So how long did it take us to pay off our student loans? Let's take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 months, it's all gone. Okay, 5 months, it's all gone. So that's going to be 42 months. 42 months, it's all gone. And then I'm going to do this, 42 months. This is going to be 188 plus 40, which is going to be 228K. And then let's go ahead and pay off this 30-year mortgage of 210,000. This is going to be 0. This is going to be 42. And then let's pull out the Velocity Banking calculator for this. Give me one moment. All right, so let's quickly put in the numbers of the Velocity Banking calculator. So how much is this? Oh, it's 200,000. I think I screwed up then. Okay, let me go back here. Oh yeah, I should have put 200,000. It's okay. I can screw up. So let me just do this. 200K. I just got to put in 200,000 here. What is the current balance? The current balance is 187,032.1. 187,032.1. And then this is an 8% line of credit. And what's our monthly expense income? It's quite high. It's 9 grand. 911.68. All right, so 911.68 or 111. And then what is our expenses? It's just 2,000, everything except for the loan we're trying to pay off. And got to be careful because some people on the internet are like, oh, you always got to replace your loan with the line of credit. So if we do this, I mean, it pays off really fast because we got so much cash flow, right? But let's just do this $10,000 little chunks. You see, 9,000 in interest. Okay, you don't have to put your entire loan into the line of credit. So 2.4 years. So let's go ahead and do this. And yeah, oof, I know, right? Almost as actually, that's actually better than mine. If you take a look at this, right. I paid mine in 2 years and 9 months. This is 2.4 years, so it beat me. I think this is the first time I've done a simulation where this beat me. So good for you, simulation. So 42 divided by 12 plus 2.4, which is 5.9 years. Well, 5.9 years, and we are debt free. Right. Wow. Okay, so your goal, don't you want to, is to join the path of velocity? Don't you want to join that? That's the goal of today, to join this the coolest cult ever, where we don't drink the bad Kool-Aid, we drink the good one, and we might offer you something called, according to Meta AI, the Velocity Banking Crack, which is just people being addicted to these spreadsheets. So no harm there. All right. Well, that's it for today, folks. This is a Karina Lanta mentorship. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.